Historic flooding is expected to continue through May. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration says the spring flood outlook is not good for those already being devastated by flooding in the Midwest. NOAA officials say that the outlook calls for nearly 2/3 of the lower 48 states to face an elevated risk of flooding through May. That's with the potential for major to moderate flooding in 25 states across the Great Plains, Midwest, and down through the Mississippi River Valley. Now, the warnings comes amid record flooding triggered by the sudden warm-up and the heavy rains earlier this month that were brought on by what they call the bomb cyclone. A long-term outlook from the Department of Agriculture predicts trade will continue to dictate the agricultural sector over the next 10 years. Specifically, the report says that over the next several years, the agricultural sector will continue to adjust to the ongoing China-U.S. trade dispute. USDA's ag projections for 2028 report that improving environment, including continued increase in trade, support growing global demand for ag products. However, slowing global economic growth rates and a relatively strong dollar are expected to weigh on growth in U.S. ag exports. A survey by the Department of Agriculture shows no veterinary drug residue was found and none at levels that even approached U.S. regulatory limits in pork samples. The survey by the USDA's Ag Research Service looked at more than 1,000 pork kidney samples. The findings, according to the USDA, signal U.S. pork producers are using veterinary compounds properly and that veterinary drug residues in pork are not posing any sort of health concern to U.S. consumers. And finally, the EPA is poised to issue partial waivers to some of the 39 refiners that are asking for a reprieve from the renewable fuel standard. I'm Susan Littlefield on the Rural Radio Network.
Mike likes his car. Mike likes to save money. And Mike likes to breathe. So Mike fills up with E15 with 15% American ethanol. The clean octane in E15 gives Mike the performance he wants from his engine and the clean air he wants for his family. Better yet, E15 costs less at the pump. Higher octane, cleaner air, lower cost. E15 sure gives Mike a lot to like. Discover E15 with American ethanol.